we did know on the 24th of September because Australians sent $2,000 into my account on that day. So I knew.
Wait, where the Australians come into this? How do they suddenly funding this?
So in 2011, I had sat down in the library here in a little town, and I said, okay, I can't get jobs teaching in school so easily here. So God has told me and given me the advice, you're an evangelist. A prophet came up to me in 1991 in Speaker's Corner in London and said, are you going to be the Lord's evangelist? I answered yes. He says he's anointed you to da-da-da-da-da-da. And so I said, okay, so I've got career advice from the creator of the universe. So let's act on it, right? This year, I'm going to preach the gospel to the ends of the world in 4 directions. Jerusalem, Shanghai, Cape Town, Tromsø, north of Norway, Stavanger, west of Norway. That was the ends of the world if you follow your finger till the sea. So God granted that. That same year, that was 2011, I didn't just go to Shanghai and Cape Town and these other places, but I also went, that story with the Bethel one, I went from New York to Los Angeles, because there was a cheap ticket to New York, so I went by faith, and then, and I went also Lansing to John O'Groats. I did all these places that year. The next year, I said, okay, this year, I'm going to preach the gospel beyond the ends of the world. Australia. That was the most exciting ever. So I'm on the usual mission to Kenya in August. And then I'm planning, I can't go to Australia again in November because Mona's going to have a baby. So I have to do the Africa-Australia mission back to back. That means I will not return to Norway. I was thinking, shall I go back to Norway and God touch somebody and then they give me the money and then I go to Australia? That's not faith. So I just stopped in Paris and waited. And then I have to decide, how am I going to get all the way to Australia? You have to bounce. So I had a dream. I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. You know that. Most people do not know that song.
The Vapors. It was by the Vapors turning Japanese. By the Vapors, yeah.
I thought it was Depeche Mode.
No, it was the Vapors. I played it on the radio.
Really? That's the song which came to me. So I knew, okay, I'm going to go via Japan. And then when I was in Kenya, a brother said, I have a brother-in-law in Perth. Maybe you can visit him. So the next day he says, I talked to my brother-in-law. He will not be there when you are there. So I said, well, can you give me the address? He said, no, I don't think it's good protocol to go to a church when a man is not at home. So he refused to give me the name of the church. But I had a dream the same night that I was in Perth. So I knew I was going to Perth. And so I went to Japan. There was a sister in Australia who followed my missions on Facebook. Never met her, but she followed the missions. And she made a vow. She said, Lord, I'm going to help one of his missions. So now she made that vow, and the next day she disappeared from Facebook. And she disappeared for 6 weeks. And I thought, her husband said, you're not giving any money to some strange guy on Facebook. So what happens is I'm in Japan. I'm on the last night in Japan. I'm in a hotel with a little cubicle.
Oh, the capsule hotel.
Yeah, I'm in a capsule hotel because, one thing you can't do by faith is go to the wrong airport and get where you're going.
Right.
So that's what I did. I went to the wrong airport in Japan and I couldn't fly from there. And therefore, by the time I got back, it was midnight. My hostel was full. I saw a guy sleeping at the bus stop. I said, if God is not with me, I'm going to be sleeping at the bus stop tonight. But the hostel told me about the capsule hotel. And I went to the capsule hotel. It was cheaper than the hostel. So I went into the capsule hotel. I'm on Facebook on the capsule hotel. And bam, after 6 weeks, this lady appears again. I wrote to her. I said, that's amazing. I'm in Japan and I'm about to come to Australia and you appear back on. So because she saw the divine orchestration in this whole coincidence, she doubled what she was planning to give from $200 to $400, which covered my flight to Australia from Japan.
Right.
One way. So I arrive in Australia. I go down to her. She's a Vietnamese sister. I sleep in her house in a tent in the living room. Her dad's there, her mum's there, her husband's there, kids. I'm in the living room and I'm in the tent. And I ministered in the Baptist, little Baptist church there, the Vietnamese Baptist church. I ministered to her church. A brother was really excited. He said, is he going to Perth? Is he going to Perth? If he hasn't got the money to go to Perth, I'll pay for the money. I'll pay for the ticket to Perth.
So you're in Sydney at this stage then?
Yeah.
Is that, yeah.
I went into Gold Coast down to Sydney.
Okay.
So notice I'm on one coast.
Yeah.
This is not my plan, but
because Perth's a long way. I think it's like a 5-hour flight to Perth. It's a long, long way for those who don't know the geography.
End of the country. So the Lord took me to the ends of the Australian world, and I wasn't even planning it. And so he has to pay 489 or 479 instead of 289 because the next day my flight is heading back to Japan. So I'm in Perth. I'm with a Vietnamese pastor. We're walking around. We're evangelizing. We talk to a guy and we talk to this. And in the end, I'm sitting on the computer trying to work out how to get to Japan. I don't have enough money. The Vietnamese pastor is feeling the pressure. He feels like I'm expecting him to give me the money. So he's on my shoulder. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And so I got permission from my wife. I said, well, I haven't got enough to get to Japan. The flight left without me. But I have got enough to get to Darwin, which is where I really wanted to get to. I had a dream in 2002 about some wind to do with Australia. And that was one of the reasons for this mission, to go to this wind place. So the mission now was like 40 days because, it's all by faith. So you don't know how long it's going to take each step. I booked my time in Darwin.